Deontay the Bronx Bomber Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, Ugas did an interview with Fight Hype yesterday where he revealed that he revealed the rematch status, if there was a rematch clause with Errol Spence. He also talked about his next fight, wanting to fight Crawford, but if that didn't happen, that he will fight Keith Thurman. I mean, he was asked about the Spence fight, you know what I'm saying? Didn't really say much there about the Spence fight, same thing Spence saying, it's both going to be prepared. And like I said, people say, well, what I think about this fight. Like I said before, Line Killer podcast, he told me that he had to put it to me. I said, man, Ugas probably got a shot, but, I think Spence going to dominate. But he was like, I made a case for Ugas. He was like, what big fight is Cuba's one of the professionals? And I'm like, hey, you got a point. People say, well, why the Cubans don't win fights in the professionals? Because once you become, for one, I don't know, obviously, for one, they don't have the, they don't really get no respect in American boxing. I don't know because they so good amateurs and whatever it may be, but they don't get no respect in American boxing. See what happened, Rigondeaux and all that type of stuff, right? So, but one of the things is once you start doing something so much, bro, it's hard. It's hard to try something different. They be fighting 3 or 4 rounds in amateurs for so long. They come over here. A lot of them dudes be doing that until their 30s. So, when you get in there in your 30s, you get in there, in your mid-20s, let's be nice. When you get in there by your mid-20s, you try to start, it's different. Amateurs, man, it's more sloppy, it's more reckless. It's just all about headshots. They don't count body shots. Then, I think it might be 4 rounds. Then you triple into 4 rounds. So you can't go all out for 12 rounds. So it's a different game. It's more methodical. It's more you pick your shots. And a lot of them just so being the amateur system so long, they just programmed to be amateurs. You see what I'm saying? So they programmed to be amateurs. But he said there is no rematch clause for the Errol Spence fight. So there you got it. Lance Plugmeyer asked him. He said there's no rematch clause for the Errol Spence fight. So there you go. He said there is no rematch clause for the Errol Spence fight. So, so there you go right there. No rematch clause. So he said he does not have to beat him twice. So that just lets you know that Errol Spence is probably going to go ahead and move up to 154 pounds. I mean, that's the plan. So he said there ain't no rematch clause there. So yeah, Errol moving up to 154 pounds regardless, unless he fights Terence Crawford. That's what I heard. He moving up to 154 pounds if there's no Crawford fight. So I'm trying to find the interview right now. But so yeah, he said, that's what he's doing. Here we go. That's the interview right here. So Dennis Ugas tells Crawford he's next after Spence. Beating Thurman is the backup plan, the Pugmeyer's corner. So shout out to Lance. So yup. So he said if he ain't Terence Crawford, that fight can't be made. He going for Keith Thurman. So a lot of people ask him, is there a rematch clause for Dennis Ugas for Errol Spence? There is one. So is that just, Errol Spence being ignorant or being overconfident? No. It might be, but I just think he's moving on up, like I told y'all. And if not, then, if he do win, then he probably going after Keith Thurman. It's one of the two. Or possibly Crawford. So, not sure. So, but, that's pretty much what he had to say. about that. He said he want to fight Terence Crawford. But if that fight can't happen, then he going after Keith Thurman. That's if he win. Could it be the same thing for Errol Spence? No Crawford, Keith Thurman, and then move up to 54? Could be. Who knows? Things change. But it sounds like Errol Spence could be moving up to 54 rather than fight Keith Thurman or Terence Crawford before Keith Thurman. So, like I said before, it's probably more money than Keith Thurman than moving up to 54. Keith said he moved to 54 till if he's still around at 37 years old, he might give it a try. So, I mean, like I said before, he don't speak English as a translator, but a lot of times them translators ain't no good. So, I mean, am I mad at this plan? No. Like I said before, I don't know what the split would be like for him and Crawford. I don't know if Crawford will feel like, I deserve the lion's share of it. I'm a better puller. I don't know. We know Ugas was trying to get 50-50 versus Errol Spence. So if he bringing in 3 belts versus Terence Crawford, what y'all think? He probably gonna want the lion's share. And then where do you put that fight at? You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, Terence Crawford is the pool. Anybody who fought, Ugas is the pool. So where do you put that fight? You can't say that it ain't enough money in that fight because you ain't got to pay none of them niggas $20 million to fight. And then it's the thing of, then if Crawford is to fight Ugas and he went on the belts, then they're going to want to lock him up to a long-term contract. That's something to think about. They're going to want to lock him up to a long-term contract. So Keith Thurman might just be simpler to make because with Keith Thurman, it's just to the point where he already signed over there. His loyalty already tested over there. He ain't going nowhere. And Keith Thurman just gonna drop the belts he don't want to have. So it's interesting. Ugas and Keith Thurman, that's the worst possibility for them. They definitely losing money. Because then for one, that ain't undisputed. They still ain't gonna make no money if it's undisputed or not. Keith Thurman just did 30,000 pay-per-views. And then if with Ugas coming off the Pacquiao pay-per-view, if him and Errol don't do a big number, then people just didn't care about the Pacquiao pay-per-view. Think about that for a minute. People just ain't care. And nobody care. A lot of people trying to get their money back for that fight. And and they weren't giving people the refund for that fight. So ain't nobody trying to fight and see Ugas fight. Especially no damn Keith Thurman. The fans have spoken. The fans have spoken, bro. They done with Keith Thurman. Hardcore fans, casual fans. Whatever it may be. But that's the plan. I know he asked Al. I know it's rumored that he asked Al Heyman. He wanted to fight Crawford, so like I said, they can't make no excuse and say, well, they don't have the money for Crawford and Ugas. Can't make no excuse. That should be a simpler fight to make, but if Crawford don't lock in a long-term deal, or they can't offer the fights after Ugas, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think they're gonna let Crawford pick a one-fight deal. So, but Keith Thurman and Ugas, that's a solid fight. You can't put that. I wouldn't order that. I order Domino's before I order that. But Yep. So I'm not sure if that's the same route for Errol. He rose from outside the top 40 to number 3 in the WBC. So he promised something. So if it's Errol dropping the belts, he probably gonna fight Danny or Alvarez for a vacant title, or he gonna fight Errol, which I heard Errol moving up or Terence Crawford. Who knows? Things change. Things change. But if they can't make the Ugas fight, Terence Crawford just need to go ahead and just, you know, he need to go ahead and just figure some things out. Do I continue on the fight? Because I go to 54. If I can't get Ugas, I ain't gonna never get Errol Spence. Not until I look vulnerable. I'm old. But the one thing he got to do is to make sure I would keep fighting until Ugas was stripped of a belt, and or Errol Spence vacated all the belts. Then I drop mine, and I go to my next twilight of my career. So, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the Welterweight and Boxing playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase the chance of notification. We go live and drop the video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Find me everywhere on social media or where I'm creating content at, like Spotify, Twitter. Hit the link in the description. It's like everywhere I am, but like I said before, it's gonna be very interesting. I don't envision Ugas having a smidget of a shot. So I envision Errol Spence winning that fight. And like I said before, I think somebody was just doing an interview. Tim Bradley just did an interview on Fight Hub, was really good. And he said that he gonna hold Errol to his word, and we're gonna see after he get the third belt, is he gonna pursue Crawford. But we already know he's been telling us all through these interviews that he don't really care about it. So if you fight Keith, I guess that's a solid consolation prize. Let me know.